people are still going out for pintxos. They're still going to restaurants and everything. A little bit different, but that's still going on strong. Something has changed, but not the essence.
I'm Dani Valent, and this is Dirty Linen, the podcast that takes the issues the hospitality industry finds hard to air in public and shakes them all about. On Dirty Linen this fortnight, we are travelling all around the world, and today I am really thrilled to be in San Sebastian. Oh my goodness, I wish I could transport myself there with a blink of an eye. San Sebastian, Donostia in the Basque country in the north of Spain is honestly one of my favourite places in the world, and I'm talking to one of my favourite people in one of my favourite places. Her name is Noemi Lekube. I met her thanks to a mutual friend, Jesse Gerner, a chef here in Melbourne, who, when he knew I was going to San Sebastian, said, well, this is a person you have to meet. Noemi runs the Basque Way, a food tour company. She knows everything about what's good to eat and drink in that beautiful, tasty town and the whole region. So Noemi, thank you so much for coming to have a chat to me today.
Oh, no problems, Dani. I'm delighted to hear from you. And I actually have to tell you, you made San Sebastian's viral cheesecake crazy now. So everybody who comes to San Sebastian, since you were there, and I remember your face the first time you tried it, I remember you rolling your eyes, and I was like, oh my God, we created a monster. So now we have like lines and lines and lines of people from all over the world coming to La Viña to try the famous cheesecake. Seriously, we have to now reserve to get a piece of cake. That did not happen before you were there.
Are you serious?
I'm super serious. If I have a group of people that want to try that cheesecake, which is everybody, I have to call the restaurant and tell them exactly what time I'm going to be there, which is very difficult on a pintxo tour, and tell them how much cheesecake we're going to eat. So, yes.
Wow.
And the whole bar is full of tour guides now.
Well, I don't know what to say. What could I do but roll my eyes when I had my first bite of Basque cheesecake? And you forever will be an important person in my life for introducing me to that fluffy, creamy cloud of joy, Noemi. So,
oh, that's good to know. That's good to know.
Definitely. And at the moment in our lockdown number 2 in Melbourne, where, it's the hardest lockdown we've had, and hopefully this is as hard as it's going to get, Basque cheesecake is definitely having a moment. So there are lots of cafes and restaurants who are making their versions, and there are lots of people baking it at home. So yeah, I always feel very connected to San Sebastian.
Oh, that's great.
And
great.
I definitely always feel connected to that cake. And yeah, all the beautiful food there. So I guess you're not really taking hordes of tourists to eat cheesecake this week, though, are you?
No, I'm not taking anyone. See, all our main business. I joined a company called Basque Tours, and we do many things, a lot of food tours, and our main clients are Americans, Australians, and Asians, and there is none. There are none, nothing. So we have no work, which is actually a pity because the last few years have been great. And they were just exciting times. We were doing new things. There was actually people coming from Asia and America, which their first time in Spain was San Sebastian. And that was huge for us because normally it's Barcelona, Sevilla, Madrid. And, San Sebastian was right on the spot, the Basques, our food, everything, our culture. And now there's nothing. So yeah, it's a bit of a downer, but I'm actually very positive that it's all going to come back. I mean, if you walk down the street today in San Sebastian, you think nothing has changed. Everybody's wearing a mask.
Really?
Yes, everybody's wearing a mask. Yeah. But there's lots of people. The bars are filled, not so much inside because there's a lot of restrictions, but outside, everybody's walking around. You hear people laughing. Kids are out playing. So there's like a good vibe. Yeah. But then the media is playing a really, really difficult role for everybody. The media is scaring everybody, scaring our tourists. So at the moment, we have a lot of Spanish tourists. I know you must be saying, what do you mean? You are Spanish, but you know how we feel about that. So we have many, many people from Barcelona, Catalonia, and Madrid, and a lot of people from Europe. But they're getting scared. And people from Europe, and now there's new restrictions from Germany, from Belgium. So as of August, probably we will have only mainland people. So yeah, difficult and sad times. Although if you walk around San Sebastian, you'll see that like nothing has changed.
You said that the media's played a role in what you think's happening now. I mean, I know that Spain has been having what some people have called a second wave, that cases have started to rise, although there haven't been, the deaths and the hospital crises that there were back in March and April. But tell me what it's like from your perspective. What do you think's happening?
Well, the feeling, the people have is that they're being lied to, that we're just, the elections have passed, that they reassured a vote. And now afterwards, after letting us have a bit of a summer, they're scaring us again into being confined again. There's many more restrictions coming as of tomorrow on Monday. They have been threatening this, telling us how we've had a lot of positive cases and that our people that are getting sick again. But actually the doctors are coming out, the hospitals are coming out saying that they're okay, that there are positives, but that they're basically with no symptoms, so that they're at home. And then doctors are saying that if you don't have a symptom, it means you're not sick and that you cannot pass on COVID. So there's just a lot of misinformation. We actually do have a couple of cases in our town, very few, like 10. And there's actually one bar owner that is in the hospital. He's doing okay, but they actually told the whole family and their wife and to please not watch television, to not read the papers or whatever, because they were going to get very scared of something that was not the reality. So that's kind of the feeling, is that we're being lied to. We're not understanding why all these restrictions. They're going to do even more restrictions now for bars and restaurants. But there's no restrictions of going back to school, going to work, getting on public transport. Yeah. All of the new COVID cases are supposedly in family reunions, so we're not really understanding this. So yeah, people are not very happy.
So restaurants and bars feel like they're being targeted with the new restrictions that are coming in.
Yes.
Right. And was there a demonstration against this?
Yeah, there was a demonstration in San Sebastian, the bar association and hostelería. I don't know how you say that now in English. I can't remember. But so the bars and restaurants got together because they feel that they don't have enough help for the new restrictions. There are many bars that are dedicated to the nighttime that cannot open. As of like 1:30, we have to close. And okay, 1:30 may sound a lot for some cultures, but in Spain, 1:30 is when the night is starting. So if you can't go out, yeah, I know, that sounds terrible. But at 1:30, I mean, if a bar is closing at 1:30, we may decide not even to go out, because it's just not worth our, the effort. So they were complaining as well.
Oh my God.
Yes, I know. They were complaining that, they can't open. They have no clients, but there's no help for them. Yeah. So there's no money coming in. So, and also many restaurants, they're being full. There's kind of like a double thing here, because you're going to go out, you're going to see the whole, every bar in the old part of town reopened. We thought that they wouldn't. Every bar is having much more business that they thought they would. Yeah. It's a different kind of business because it's full of Spanish and European, which is not the same as an American or an Asian. Yeah. The relationship to money, how we spend and everything is not the same. So although they're full, they're probably not making not even half as much as last year. And at nighttime as well, the restaurants are not completely full because of this 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock closing time. For us, we start eating dinner at 10, 11, we're having a sobremesa, where we chat endless hours, where we like to, at the end of a chat around 2 o'clock, go for the last gin tonic somewhere. And that's not happening. So yeah, there's many, many restrictions. You can't go up to the bar to ask. You can't be inside, many things like that. So people are going out, they're staying outside, but they're not consuming a lot. So there's kind of a double thing going on. Yeah.
What about the whole culture of pintxos? Like pintxos, the beautiful food on sticks, the little snacks lined up along the bar for people to help themselves. Like, what's the story with those? They don't seem very COVID safe.
But they are. We have, they had to cover them. which is a big thing for us. Yeah. But still, people are going out for pintxos and enjoying. There's still, that you'll go out. If you just would walk around the places we were in San Sebastian, you'll see people outside. Everybody's wearing a mask, but there's people outside and everybody's enjoying food. Maybe much less than before, but because the consumer, the customer is different, An American will go up to one bar and ask for 3 to 4 pintxos, where a Spanish person will go for one. Yes? Because that's how we are. Yeah. Okay. And because we're stingy that way as well,
Well, I think also it's that the Spanish person knows that they're going to be out for 6 or 7 hours, where the American is just like in bed by 11. So.
Yeah. Well, not when they come to San Sebastian, they're not. But yes, that is true. Yeah. Yeah, that is true. So, but that's still going on. I mean, people are still going out for pintxos. They're still going to restaurants and everything. A little bit different, but that's still going on strong. Yeah, nothing has changed. Well, nothing. Something has changed, but not the essence. So that's a good thing, because we thought we had to become French suddenly, and all the Spanish people were going crazy, eating at 7. We were very scared that we would have to have dinner at 7, Oh my God, what are we going to do?
The thought of becoming French.
I know.
What could be worse?
Terrible.
I mean, in a way, like if I could be the only Australian in San Sebastian and everyone else was a local, that sounds really great.
Yeah, that's what every Spanish person thought. But I think that's like we have a joke going on. Well, us Basque and in Catalonia, the problem that is there. Yeah. So we thought like everywhere in Spain is totally empty of tourists. Yeah. Everybody's going to Galicia, empty. On their way to Portugal, empty. Sevilla, empty. Madrid, super empty. Yes, everybody's in the Basque country. I think we have like this joke going, like everybody came here to get us infected so we can die. But no, everybody's here. All of Spain is here. I think they thought, oh my God, there's be no tourists. Oh my God, we can get like great prices. Let's go. And everybody is here having a great time. Well, in the way that we can, it's much more during the day.
Yeah.
It's much more outside. It's a little bit different, but everybody's here. It's true. So that's the situation.
Tell everyone about San Sebastian and about the Basque country. Give us a little 101 on the Basque country, because I love it. But not everyone has gone and had their cheesecake epiphany at La Viña. So for people who haven't been there, give us a little introduction.
You should really come back, not just because you love San Sebastian, and go back to La Viña and not have the cheesecake, because they have amazing anchovies there.
I had the Hilda.
You have the Hilda, yes.
Yeah.
You did that.
Yeah.
But they have amazing anchovies there that nobody tries, and they do like awesome food, and everything is like the cheesecake now. So I'm like, she has to come back and do a whole thing about, let's discover, the best place for anchovies in the Basque country.
Sure. I'm ready to start another craze. That's fine. Let's do it.
You should. But I don't know what to tell you about the Basque country. We are a little bit different. We're in the north. And we are the Germans from Spain, I guess. Many people think we're very Germanic. We love work. And we play hard, we work hard as well. I don't know really what I could say for somebody that has never been here. It's different. There's another vibe. It's, I don't know, there's a very strong Basque feeling, we're so proud of ourselves and our food, and we show love through food. We're very tough and rough. Yeah, but our love goes through food. So we would stuff you to death, and you would have to say you'd like it. That's kind of the Basque thing here, We'll take you to all the best places, but you'd have to eat everything, And what can I say? We have it all. We have like mountain Basque highlands. We have the beach. Not a lot of people know this is a beach and a surf destination. They think we just eat pintxos all day, which is not true exactly, yeah? It's not true. We love our pintxos and having good food, but we are very into sitting down, having like very local, I would say maybe simple food. Yeah. I don't know, chickpeas with our bacalao, or, our stews, our marmitaco, which I love, which I think is the best plate here, which not a lot of people know about it, which is the tuna stew. that we do in August right now. It's tuna season. I have right now, my whole fridge is, we bought a whole tuna and we just, we sat at home one evening and we just boiled it. We canned it. We have some in the freezer, and that's going to be our summer dish. Yeah, we do the marmitaco.
Wow.
Yes.
So marmitaco, is that the fish soup that was traditionally, that's the very simple stew that the fishermen would make for themselves on the boat after they caught the tuna? That's the marmitaco?
Yeah, marmitaco comes from the white tuna. It's a little bit different, from a red tuna. It's a little bit smaller and has ventresca, which would be in the kind of like the breast area. Yeah, it's kind of juicy. So in August, it's very typical that my husband is a carpenter, and the other day in an Airbnb, 2 girls from Madrid lost their key and they couldn't get in. So the owner somewhere on holiday, calls my husband and says, you got to go to the next town and open the door. He did. So we got a whole tuna as a present. Yeah, that's very typical here still.
I love it.
Yeah, I know. So he comes home. I'm like, what'd you get? And he's like, I got a whole tuna. This is way better than money for us. I'm like, are you serious? Yes. So anyways, that's, the fishermen, when they would go out for tuna, they would have to bring potatoes and onions and things like that, that would last a little bit. So while they were fishing, so they would be putting a big kettle on top of the boat. And while they were fishing, one tuna would go into the pot, and that's how they would make the stew. Yeah, that would be it. And that's what we have. That's what we actually bring to the beach when it's really hot. A big, a very hot steaming stew of tuna. And that's what we would eat. Everybody has melon and watermelon or something like that. No. Don't. That's
some tuna stew. But it's so funny. It's like you're saying that, hey, we're not all about food. We love the beach as well. But when we go to the beach, we bring a big pot of fish stew.
I know. I know the things we do is all revolving around food. Yeah. But we do other things. We hike, and then so we could go eating. Yeah. It's just a big excuse just around food. Yes.
Yeah. Well, when you hike, then you sort of hike past a little goat cheese farm, and then you go in and you have some cheese, and so yeah. So sure, you're hiking, but you're probably hiking to some food, right?
Yes, exactly. There is everything revolves around that. Yeah. And we get kids to go hiking, and we're doing all the sport things, but there's always the carrot in front of the bunny. If we do this, you're going to get the croquetas from that bar. Our kids know exactly what pincho to have in what bar. Yeah. They just don't go up to any bar.
Oh, wow.
And have no, yes. Normally kids here, if you ask them so what do you want? They're like, oh, you could be at another bar. And they're like, I want the croquetas from that bar. So you give them the €2 and they run up to that bar and they'll ask for the croquetas from that bar. Because maybe where we're having a wine, the octopus is really good, but the croquetas, well, they're good, but the other ones are better. So yes. Well, anyways, if you know anything about our croquetas is what we would ask for if there's a new place opening up. There has been a couple of new places in the old part of town post-COVID opening up. So what we do is we go there and we ask them for their specialty, and they'll be like, oh, we do ravioli. We're like, great, give us some croquetas, and they're like, why croquetas? We always ask for croquetas because that is something our mothers would make. Yeah. And if they will do that well, then we know they have a good kitchen. That's it. We base we judge.
So it's your control dish.
Yes. We judge a new place on a very old recipe. And if they do that well, then we know that's okay. If they would give us something like that, they would buy frozen or from the local butcher, then no, it's a no-go. But we would never say that to their face. We'll be like, oh, it's excellent. And then we'll walk outside and tell everybody that the croquetas are not good. And then everybody will know not to go there.
Wow, it's very fierce. So Noemi, there's some we've talked a lot about the pintxos bars and that amazing street culture in San Sebastian, but it's also a town that's renowned for its Michelin star restaurants. So Arzak is there, Mugaritz is just down the road. Tell me how those restaurants are going, because I think they rely so much on internationals coming along.
Well, yes, that is true. I'm not really sure how Arzak and Berazategui and all of them are doing. I know they're open. I know they're working. I know they probably have their restrictions as well as having so many people dining or having lunch. I know Cococha, for example, is a 1 Michelin-starred restaurant in the old part of town that we really, really like. From Dani Garcia as the chef, and they're excellent. And they were very scared. They couldn't open up as many of these places didn't open up when they could. They were looking at how they could, how could they pay salaries? How could everybody go back to work? And actually, Cococha thought about having a special menu, a bit more low cost than the normal menu. Although he's not very expensive, he has 1 Michelin star. And I think he has a great price quality. So you could be eating there for like 80, 90 euros for like a tasting menu, or, maximum 110 or something like that. And they made a special menu. And actually what happened is that they're full. They have another type of customer, not Spanish. They would say maybe out of the whole evening, maybe 2 tables are Spanish and the rest of European, a lot of German, a lot of Danes, Belgium, things like that, from Holland as well. And they're full, and nobody's asking for that special menu. They're all asking for the tasting menu. So that's good news. That's really, really good news. They were surprised, and they're working much more than they thought they would. Yeah. I'm sure they're making much less than last year, but they're working. The big fear was that they would have to close because they rent. And when you rent in San Sebastian, it's amazing. Like half the salary or half of your income is going to the rent in the old part of town.
And has there been any assistance from the government?
No, that's one of their main issues as well. Like bars and restaurants are not getting any help. And freelancers are not getting a lot of help either. No.
So there's no help with anyone's wages. There's no help with rent.
Yes. I'm not sure I think they had some help with rent, and they had some help with wages. We're in ERTE, which is if your company was hit by COVID in a special way, like we are, like having no customers, then the government is paying for our wages. Yeah. But the thing is, when they reopened, if you would put somebody back, if you're getting your team back, you had no more help, but you have half the customers or no customers. So yeah, that's one of the big complaints as well.
That's tough.
Yeah, very, very tough. But Cococha has, I don't know if they have the whole team back again, but they have the majority of the team back again, and they are filling the venue. They had 32 seats. They are allowed to fill 27, which is quite good. I imagine for other places that are bigger, it's tougher. Yeah. But they're doing, well in these circumstances. I don't know how long they could, support that, because our fear at the moment was, I was very optimistic for 2021, but, seeing how things are going, that, the government keeps on, I don't know what they're going to do with the school situation. I don't know. We were very optimistic about 2021 as international travel was going to come back. I'm not so optimistic anymore that it's going to be 2021. It might be further down the road. I don't know, because, they're scaring people. They're telling Spain is in a really bad situation, and it's not that bad. That's the big thing that we're like, why are they doing this? Why they keep on, the media keeps on just speaking of fear and more and more. I don't know. We really don't know. So that's, yeah.
They had, it's a tricky one. New Zealand, they had 4 cases in Auckland, the capital of New Zealand, last week, and they shut the whole city down. So I guess, there's different policy responses. I suppose there's no playbook for this really.
Yeah, we don't understand how, they could be shutting down one thing, but school has to be open, all kids are going to go, or that we can go to work, but we can't go and have a drink. And, there's just a lot of things like that, in Spain that you're like, what's going on? So we don't understand. I understand that if there's cases that they have to shut down. We understand that. We understand we're wearing all masks. We're doing everything we have. I think in Europe, Spain has the hardest restrictions, but our government keeps on saying we have many cases when that's not really actually, when we're reading the true numbers. It's like, what are they saying? So That's the thing. That's kind of like the feeling at the moment. What's going on? What's the story?
Do you think that you can change your business to cater to European tourists, or do you need to wait until those tourists can come back again from Asia, from Australia, from the US?
Yeah, we decided to wait. We decided to wait because like all our strategy, our tours, everything is very focused for the international traveler. Yes. And also European travelers are quite different. You know, they do a lot of things on their own. They're much more independent. We're much more nearby. They don't seem to care for services that much. Yeah. So we decided to wait. We know our customer. We know he's going to come back. We just don't know when. That's the difficult part. Yeah. It's just the waiting, not knowing when and seeing how thing goes. Yeah. We think they're going to come back.
Yeah, they will come back. But I guess we just don't know when. I guess it's different if you're coming from Australia, for example, you go to San Sebastian, maybe it's the only time you'll go there. You really want that definitive experience, don't you? Whereas if you're coming from Madrid or Barcelona or from Berlin or whatever, then it's just like it's your weekend in San Sebastian. Maybe you'll have another weekend in San Sebastian in 6 months. So
yeah, you have a long weekend. Yes, definitely. Yeah. And because they're in Europe, they feel more secure. They know their way around. They just don't rely so much on services. Yeah. So maybe like an American, Australian are much more prone to pay for something that they know they're going to get the max out of. Right? The European traveler is not so much like that. And the Spanish traveler is no way like that.
Yeah.
That's the biggest complaint at the moment is the Spanish traveler. All the hotels are complaining. They're like, we can't handle the Spanish people.
Really? What are the hotel people saying?
Well, you know, they're canceling last minute, then they'll call last minute. They're looking for 5 rooms. They hear the price. Oh no, we want 2 rooms. And then they're like, do we get anything with this? You know, we Spanish people love an offer. Yes. And we think we're smarter than anybody else. Yeah. So when we talk with our friends and they're like, oh, we're going, I don't know, we're going to Portugal. We got a really good deal, 1,000 euros for all of this. And we're like, 1,000 euros? Are you kidding me? I got the same for 300, and we're like that, we're terrible customers, So, we'll see an offer, there's a tour. Oh, it costs, 30 euros with a pintxo. Take off the pintxo. And they're like, oh, it's 30 euros still. And they're like, really? So yeah, it's just different. We're very, very different when we consume and what we think is fair. Yeah. So yeah, everybody now is going crazy because people are Spanish. So yeah, you got to laugh.
So, okay. I'm coming and I'm going to spend whatever you tell me it costs. So tell me where you're going to take me, Noemi. Build me my beautiful Basque tour on the spot right now and let me salivate over what I'm going to eat and drink.
Oh, I definitely, okay. First we would see San Sebastian, but then I would definitely take you to these little beach towns. You were here, you were in Motrico, in that little town where I come from. I would take you to all these little towns and take you to those off the beaten, like grandma style little bars where you're going to get, oh, my cousin just went out fishing and he got the squid because the squid, like the fish is amazing this year. I think, everywhere, like the wildlife and all the animals have been free for the last 6 months. So they're amazing at the moment. Really, I know now we're killing them. It's great. So I would take you I would take you inland. I would really take you inland to see the mountains and all these like little deep places where we're going to get that cheese to make that, Vigna cheesecake, which is, they say it's Philadelphia. I saw that, what you wrote, but, I think it's more like the Idiazabal cheese. But, I would take you to Ondarribi to get the squid. I would take you inland for the Idiazabal cheese. I would take you to Orio to get the besugo. I don't know how you call besugo, monkfish I would skip Guetaria. I know Guetaria, everybody loves Guetaria and they have those great restaurants, but I'm going to skip it. I'm going to skip it this time with you and take you really deep down under where, and everything is like only like 30 minutes away from San Sebastian. We would go to the markets to San Juan de Luz yeah, I would take you to the French Basque side, to the markets, because the markets there are amazing. Yeah. But then I would take you to eat down on our plate. Yeah. San Sebastian, always a must. I cannot take you, but I wouldn't let you eat the cheesecake. I would take you to do the best anchovies in town. Yeah. Well, anchovies, you know how we love anchovies. And, yeah, that's what we would do, that we would just get into the kitchens of all these dark little places where Mari Carmen, Julian, and everybody would still welcome you and sit down at the table to try the tomato. Because the tomato, you have to try the tomato with the tuna now, at the moment. Yeah. I would take you to places like this. Yeah.
Okay. So I feel like I'm going to need like 9 days or like 9 years.
No, come every year. Come every year for 9 days.
Okay, every year. And what time do I have to get up in the morning, and what time am I allowed to finally go to sleep at night?
Getting up, it depends what you want to do, but getting up in the morning, I mean, we are, a lot of people think we're very Spanishy and that we get up very, very late. That's not really true for the Basques. We are the Germans, yeah? We love getting up early and we do our sports in the morning. So then we can dedicate, a lot of time to eating and drinking with friends. We do love Spain for their siesta. So we've taken that from them. So there's always a little time for siesta. Yeah. I mean, you got to hand it to them. What a magnificent, invention. So we do take time for siesta. And then at nighttime, we're not that late here in the north. Yeah. But I mean, around 1:32 after a couple of gin tonics, 3 a.m, that's perfect. A stroll on La Concha Bay at 1:00 in the morning when there's nobody out. That's magnificent. There's nothing like that. There's nothing like that.
Okay. I mean, I feel very stuck in Melbourne, or I have for the rest of the weekend. But now that I'm talking to you, I feel my wings growing, and you've transported me to the beautiful Basque country. Thank you so much, Noemi, for letting us into your life, for this chat, and for making me so excited about all the food I'm going to eat when I see you again.
Oh, I would love to see you again. Yeah. So I hope our paths cross again. And I'll take you to all those places.
Definitely.
Un beso grande, grande.
Yes. Un beso grande, grande for you as well.
Yes.
Thanks, Noemi.
Okay. Goodbye, Dani.
Bye.
Enjoy. Enjoy. Bye.
This is Dirty Linen, and I'm Dani Valent. We air the issues that the hospitality industry finds hard to talk about. We spend a week thrashing around each issue, hearing from different people with unique perspectives. We want to hear from you as well. If you have something that needs to be said about a topic, get in touch so we can include your perspective. Contact us at dirtylinen@deepintheweeds.com.au or hit us up on Insta at Dirty Linen Podcast. We can't wait to hear from you.
This is a Deep in the Weeds production.